10, Armie Hammer. Armie Hammer made headlines early this year as some DMs were leaked on social media which showed Armie talking about his bedroom fantasies. Some of the things discussed in the messages were Armie's desire to eat someone, and some people, like ex-partners, have come forward with their personal accounts of Armie's fantasies. Because of this bombshell story, Armie has spent the last year losing work and watching his career fall to pieces. When the scandal first broke, he backed out of an upcoming film project alongside Jennifer Lopez in hopes to save his career, and he also dropped out of a series he was cast for Paramount+. Now he's out of work and he won't be finding any more anytime soon, as he's also been dropped by his agent and his personal publicist. Hollywood will definitely not be casting Armie in any upcoming productions unless he is able to rebuild his image after the scandal, and even then it'll take a lot of work to get back in Hollywood's good graces. At number 9, James Corden. This year, people learned that they not so secretly hate James Corden. The amount of times I saw James Corden trending on Twitter for people just talking about how much they hate him kind of says a lot about the actor and his place in Hollywood. The actor and late night host got in a lot of scandals this year, as I mentioned in one of our other videos, so another one in 2022 is probably a guarantee at this point, and that just means trouble for James's career. So far, James has faced backlash for his undermining of his employees at his late night show. He's faced backlash for the Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts segment, as well as he's been known to use traditional Asian foods as part of the gross foods category. On top of that, he's faced a lot of scrutiny for his Golden Globes nomination for his role in the movie Prom, where he played a gay character, because people thought that he used too many gay stereotypes in his performance. On top of that, a number of people who have worked with him or have had encounters with the host have made a lot of negative comments about him, making him look like a pretty bad guy. The more bad press, the less people want to work with him, and because some fans have literally started making petitions to keep James out of certain big Hollywood productions, the executives might have to start listening to the fans and not hire James Corden. Before we carry on talking about the people Hollywood might not want to work with next year, why not take a moment to leave a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this one. At number 8, Gina Carano. Up next, we have another celebrity who has faced a lot of backlash this year for old Twitter posts. Known for her role on the Disney Plus series The Mandalorian, actress Gina Carano began to face massive backlash for her social media posts that exposed her ideals and opinions that some people took offense to. Though there were a few posts that garnered a lot of negative attention, such as her comments on putting your pronouns in your social media bio, the one that was seemingly the last straw for her Disney career was a post that compared being a Republican to being a victim of the horrors of World War II, saying that Republicans are being persecuted because of their political beliefs. A lot of people took offense to this and led to more backlash and to her getting exposed for her unpopular opinions. Other posts that caused Gina to face scrutiny include her tweets about voter fraud in the US, as well as posts mocking people who wear masks amidst the pandemic. According to a source, the people behind the Mandalorian series had been looking for a reason to fire Gina because of her controversial social media presence, and so this exposure was allegedly the catalyst that led to them firing Gina from her role. Because of the nature of this scandal and the offensive things that were said, Gina might find it hard to find work in the new year if people still haven't forgiven or forgotten about her latest scandal.
And at number 7, Joe Gorga. Joe Gorga is currently performing a comedy set around the country, but at a show earlier this month, his performance was so bad that his wife Melissa had to pull him off the stage. Melissa and Joe are best known from their time on Real Housewives of New Jersey. While he was performing a stand-up set at the Governor's Comedy Club in Long Island, his performance got messy real quick. After Melissa yanked him off the stage, Joe submitted a statement through his manager, saying in part, quote, "This was not my typical show. As I share my many life lessons in my stand-up routine, now I can add this one. Don't mix alcohol with Sudafed." He says he was not feeling well and decided to take something so that he would still be able to perform for his fans. But after he had a few drinks, his body did not react as well to the mix as he had hoped, and he started acting a little loopy. Joe said in the statement that he doesn't often take cold medicine and that his wife had not seen him like that, which is why she approached the stage to get him off. After this, who knows if he will be hired again by the venue.
At number 6, Jamie Lynn Spears. Another person whose career may be damaged after this drama with Britney Spears is her sister Jamie Lynn Spears, who got caught up in the scandal that was her sister's conservatorship case. There was a lot of family drama involved, as you could imagine, and instead of laying low, she stepped into the spotlight, and doing that attracted a lot of hate towards her. Many of Britney's fans criticized Jamie for not standing up for her sister and watching her suffer through the conservatorship for so long. Things took such a nasty turn for Jamie that it's damaged her relationship with Britney, and now with the massive amount of support that Britney had garnered over the last few months, an enemy of Britney is an enemy for everyone. Britney's fans are watching her sister like a hawk, waiting for one wrong move in order to cancel her, and this bad press probably wouldn't make Hollywood executives want to hire her over fears of bad publicity.
At number 5, Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson is someone who is notoriously hated in Hollywood for quite a number of reasons. He's no longer considered for any Hollywood roles and hasn't been for a while, and he only seems to make an entrance into the industry when directing his own films since other studios don't want to work with him. He's been the subject of a number of controversies, from that of the Passion of the Christ for being anti-Semitic to career-damaging freakouts, driving under the influence, and a number of people coming forward to discuss Mel's racist and anti-Semitic views. Though he continues to be cancelled in Hollywood, he attempts to make a return every so often, but again, only through his own work. He's been facing controversy for decades, and no one has really forgiven him, so he remains banned from Hollywood and essentially banned from all other media networks. As the new year approaches, I'm sure we can all agree that Mel won't be booking anything in 2022.
At number 4, Lea Michele. TV and Broadway actress Lea Michele was cancelled in 2020 after a bunch of people came forward to expose her for her awful on-set behavior, and apparently she still remains cancelled. Reports and accusations came out last summer detailing how she'd been known to disrespect people she's worked with in the past, and this all started at the height of the Black Lives Matter movement, where one of Lea's former Glee co-stars, Samantha Ware, called Lea out on how the actress made her time on the show a quote, living hell. This ended up causing a chain reaction of other people coming forward to talk about their horror stories of working with the actress, with some revealing how she would disrespect and talk down to background actors on set, how she would delay production, and how she would refuse to talk to anyone face to face, and how she would even force them to speak with her assistant instead. Because of all this negative attention, Lea was cancelled, and as I mentioned before, that cancel status still sticks. Lea hasn't been able to bounce back from that drama that went down last year, so 2022 might be another rough year for the actress's career.
And at number 3, Ice Cube. With the new rules surrounding vaccines in the workplace, some Hollywood stars have been kicked off new movies because they refuse to get the shot. Ice Cube has officially stepped away from Sony's upcoming comedy, Oh Hell No, in which he would have co-starred with Jack Black, because he refused to get the shot. The cast was set to start filming this winter in Hawaii, but it was required that all parties on set get the vaccine. Apparently, Ice Cube walked away from $9 million. Until vaccine mandates are lifted from production, it seems like Ice Cube will not be working.
At number 2, Ellen DeGeneres. Though many of us know Ellen DeGeneres as the famed talk show host, she is also an actress, having started her own comedy show as well as voicing Dory in Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. She certainly fits the criteria for this list, both for her work and for being cancelled. Last year, Ellen was exposed for creating a toxic work environment on The Ellen Show, and she was the recipient of a lot of negative attention and backlash in 2020. Rumors started circulating about Ellen not being as nice as she's portrayed as on TV, and soon former employees started coming forward with their own horror stories about Ellen and the work environment that they had to deal with. There were allegations of racial microaggressions, discrimination, and harassment on the part of Ellen as well as other higher-ups in the company. For months, Ellen was being exposed for her toxic behavior, and she faced a lot of flack for it, having to issue multiple apologies to make up for things. Stars who had been on The Ellen Show in the past came forward to talk about their experiences with the comedian, and many interviews were being picked apart by people online, digging up moments that show Ellen in a negative light. Basically, Ellen got exposed to the max and she lost credibility, her show tanked, and now it's ending. And because of all this, no one knows what the future holds for Ellen. And finally, at number 1, Shia LaBeouf. From what we've seen in the news over the years and from what we've heard from other celebrities, I think it's safe to say that Shia LaBeouf isn't doing too great in Hollywood right now. There are a lot of people who are still fans of the actor, but after hearing about his questionable and sometimes downright disrespectful actions, idolizing Shia probably isn't the greatest thing. He is someone who's faced a lot of allegations as of late. Last year, Shia faced allegations from his ex-girlfriend FKA Twigs after she filed a lawsuit against him detailing some of the encounters that she had with him. Twigs alleged that he threatened to crash a car with her in it if she didn't profess her love for him, and claimed that he would sometimes grab her so hard that she would bruise. Even singer Sia came forward with her own allegations against the actor, saying that she too had been emotionally damaged by Shia. On top of that, he was fired by Olivia Wilde from the upcoming film Don't Worry Darling, due to his alleged bad behavior, as people have cited that Shia is, quote, not an easy guy to work with. Because of all this bad press, I think it'll be tough for Shia to find work in Hollywood next year.
At number 10, Jussie Smollett. Former Empire star Jussie Smollett made headlines a little while back after faking an attack for attention. Jussie made a claim that he was attacked by a group of people as a hate crime, but after further investigation, it was discovered that the entire altercation was made up by the actor. As a result of the scandal that followed, Jussie was let go from Empire and has been hard-pressed to find work elsewhere. The reason why he made up this altercation was an attempt to get a pay raise from the producers of the show, as he was not happy with the salary that he was already making. Now, Hollywood executives know him as someone who will do some shady things to get what he wants, including filing a false police report and faking an assault just to get people to get him more attention. After the incident, Jussie started losing a lot of work, and his career hasn't really picked up much since, with some sources saying that he might be blacklisted. At this rate, 2022 might be as challenging as 2021 was for the actor, and Hollywood might not have a place for him in the coming year. At number 9, Johnny Depp. Actor Johnny Depp has really been going through it lately. He went through a high-profile legal case, and a lot of information was exposed, but even after the legal battle against the Sun publication was over, he started losing work. First, he was asked to step down from his role as Grindelwald in the upcoming Fantastic Beasts film, and fans found out that he had been blacklisted from Disney as well because of the scandal that is still ongoing with Amber Heard. Now, even though many people are siding with and trying to defend Johnny, it doesn't seem to be making much effect in Hollywood. Fortunately, because of Johnny's image in the media at the moment, it doesn't look like he's going to book many roles in 2022. On top of that, he's still dealing with a lot of legal cases with Amber right now, so acting might not be his top priority at the moment. You might not see much from Johnny in 2022, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Before we carry on talking about some celebrities who might not find work next year, why not take some time to leave a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and while you're at it, consider subscribing to the channel as well to see more videos like this one. At number 8, Bella Thorne. Bella Thorne is no stranger to having a bad reputation in Hollywood. She's been facing backlash since she was a Disney star, and things have just escalated from there. Because she's viewed by many as problematic, Hollywood may be hesitant to hire her for upcoming projects because of how people view her. Just in the last little while, Bella has been in the news for a number of scandals. Last summer, Bella faced backlash for her OnlyFans scam, where she scammed her fans into paying upwards of $200 for content that they weren't happy with, and even prompted a company policy change that affected other creators on the platform. She was also involved in some Twitter beef with her ex Tana Mojo because she released a diss track about her. And not too long ago, Bella also faced even more backlash as she publicly defended Armie Hammer and the leaked DMs that exposed his bedroom fantasies. Bella just has a way of rubbing people the wrong way, and since she's faced so much backlash just in the last year alone, I feel like Hollywood is gonna pass on her for a little while, so she might not book much in 2022.
At number 7, Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake started facing a lot of backlash this year, with fans of Britney Spears flooding his social media pages and demanding that he apologize after the way he treated her in the media after their breakup in the early 2000s. The Framing Britney Spears documentary that was released looked into the way that the pop star was shown in the media, from the paparazzi to interviews, and it dives deep into how this stardom affected her. A big part of the documentary explores Justin Timberlake's role in the media's mistreatment of Britney after their public breakup in 2002. After their relationship ended, Justin made Britney look like the villain in the relationship, accusing her of cheating and essentially weaponizing their breakup to boost his own career. This prompted the media to put a lot of blame and shame on Britney, who really didn't deserve it. Now that fans in the media are revisiting Justin's actions, there are a number of people calling for accountability, and this could hurt his career. Because of all the drama that Britney faced this year, and combined with people digging into her past, the fact that Justin played a role in the media's mistreatment of the pop star may hurt his career and might make it harder to find work in the new year.
At number 6, Stacey Dash. Known for her role as Dion in the 90s film Clueless, Stacey Dash rose to fame in the 90s, but since then she's hit rock bottom and is no longer welcome in the entertainment industry. Nowadays, the actress is known for being quite outspoken when it comes to her political views, and this is what led Hollywood to lock her out, so to speak, and she hasn't been in the acting world for years. Speaking out about her take on women's rights, Black History Month, segregation, and the quote-unquote bathroom bill, the actress has proven herself to be too much for even the likes of Fox News, for which she used to be a part of. Stacey would often come on air on Fox News to talk about whatever issues were being discussed, but in a turn of events, Fox News let her go after having gone too far with her words, especially in reference to the abolishment of Black History Month. Some people have said that her extreme beliefs are what stopped Stacey from receiving any roles, and she's even said that she was dropped by her agent for being too problematic. Her views on gay and trans rights, as well as her opinion on race in Hollywood, have ultimately ended her career as an actress, so she definitely won't be welcomed back to Hollywood in 2022.
Halfway number 5, Chris Cuomo. CNN's Chris Cuomo has officially been fired from his network after an investigation uncovered the anchor helped his brother disgrace Governor Andrew Cuomo during his scandal. Earlier, they announced that he was going to be suspended, barring the results of the investigation. But partway through the investigation, they had uncovered enough to fire him. CNN wrote, quote, "While in the process of that review, additional information has come to light. Despite the termination, we will investigate as appropriate." This all comes on the heels of an investigation by the New York Attorney General's office, which suggested that he was heavily involved in his brother's scandal. Following his termination, reports are coming out that Chris was accused of sexual harassment, and that's a part of the reason for his termination. So it's clear that no network will want to touch him.
At number 4, James Franco. James Franco has slowly been losing respect in Hollywood to the point where he's losing work and connections in the industry. Things started to go downhill for the actor back in 2014 when he got into a scandal after he tried sliding into a fan's DMs, only to find out that she was actually 17 years old. James met a girl visiting New York City at an autograph signing outside of his Broadway show, and the two took pictures together and she tagged him, which obviously led to him finding her Instagram and DMing her. The two talked for a bit, and after their conversation continued, James asked for her number, her age, her relationship status, and whether or not he should have booked a hotel room for the both of them. Luckily, nothing ever ended up happening between them, but the fan ended up exposing their conversation online, and James faced mild backlash. After that, people got a very different impression of the actor, and a lot of people started refusing to work with him as well. Because of his public image, he might not be seen in many productions in the new year.
At number 3, Chris D'Elia. Another celebrity who might have a hard time finding work in 2022 is actor and comedian Chris D'Elia. The comedian remains canceled after he faced multiple allegations of misconduct and harassing girls online last year, and this whole scandal caused him to be essentially fired from Hollywood. After multiple women came forward to share their unpleasant experiences with the comedian, from unwanted advances to indecent exposure and gaslighting, Chris was caught and exposed for his actions, lost all support and credibility in the industry, and pretty much hit rock bottom. Though this scandal initially started last year, Chris is still facing more allegations in 2021, and a lawsuit was filed in early March accusing Chris of soliciting private photos from a young woman under the age of 18. Though this happened in 2014 when she was 17, she said that she was inspired by the other women who've come forward to tell her story and seek justice. Because he's been dropped by his talent agency and he's lost out on a Netflix special, it might be safe to say that he won't be working in Hollywood again anytime soon.
At number 2, Taylor Lautner. Taylor Lautner has been having a rough time in Hollywood lately. He's pretty much disappeared from the media, and many think that the actor has been blacklisted from Hollywood because no one wants to hire him. Since finishing up his time in the Twilight Saga, Taylor hasn't really seen much success. After the franchise ended, Taylor went looking for work, and at first, people were ready to offer him some good Hollywood parts. He was still a big name in the industry after he got so much fame from playing his character Jacob Black in the Twilight movies, but soon Hollywood executives realized that he's just not the powerhouse that they were expecting. The first few movies that he starred in tanked at the box office, and between this and his high asking salary, no one was keen on taking a chance on the actor. In the years since, he's appeared on some TV shows like Scream Queens, but other than that, we haven't really heard much from him. He recently got engaged, so maybe he's just focusing on living a simple life for now, so maybe we won't see him come back to Hollywood in 2022. And finally, at number 1, Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry made headlines this year after their interview with Oprah back in January. Since then, they've been in and out of the news, and a lot of people have wondered if Meghan will make her return to acting after leaving the royal family. She's already narrated a documentary about elephants that's on Disney+, but can we expect more from Meg? Well, the answer is maybe. Things might still be a little touchy with the actress and Hollywood because of all the drama surrounding her and the royal family, so we might not see much from her in Hollywood in 2022, but maybe sometime soon we will watch Meghan return to the spotlight once again.
And at number 10, Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett was best known for his role on Empire at the time of his scandal, although he was not a household name. But his fame exploded to new heights when he alleged that 2 white men, who were wearing MAGA hats, attacked him, shouting racist and homophobic slurs. The whole world world supported him, and he became somewhat of a figurehead against racial hate, until it was revealed that it was all a lie, and he actually paid two men to attack him. After it was revealed that he faked everything, the city of Chicago sued him for filing a fake police report, as well as the cost of investigating the attack for over $130,000. On February 11th of 2020, Smollett was indicted again by a Cook County grand jury on 6 counts pertaining to making 4 false police reports, and he was of course blacklisted from the industry. He was just found guilty of his crimes and will be serving time behind bars, and he will obviously never work in Hollywood again. In at number 9, Josh Duggar. Josh Duggar has finally been found guilty for his crimes and is now facing up to 40 years in prison for his charges. The former reality TV star, known as a sibling on the show 19 Kids and Counting, was sentenced and he will be charged in Arkansas. I can't exactly tell you what his charges are, or the video could get flagged, but he was charged with receiving and possessing illegal content of. After the guilty verdict, Duggar's lawyers made a statement saying, quote, "We appreciate the jury's lengthy deliberations, we respect the jury's verdict, and we intend to appeal." He's since been taken into custody, but his sentence has not been determined. Since the guilty verdict, Josh's sister, Jana Duggar, has also been arrested on similar charges. Since the family is now disgraced, nobody will want to hire them again. In at number 8, Travis Scott. Travis Scott has been blacklisted from the music industry following the tragic Astroworld Festival that took place in Houston. As of now, 10 people have passed away following the festival, while hundreds are injured. After the festival, fans realized this problematic behavior was not a one-off, and Travis had encouraged rowdy and dangerous behavior in the past. Scott and the concert organizers are now getting sued in a mountain of lawsuits that equal to potentially billions of dollars in payouts. Since it's unclear who's legally at fault for the tragedy, no concert venue or insurance agency will ever want to work with Travis again, as the liability is just not worth it. Many have speculated that Travis could even go bankrupt because of the money he's going to be paying out. Travis also did an interview with Charlemagne the God where he took zero accountability for what happened. All of this just proves that Travis will not have a career when this is over.
At number 7, Hartley Sawyer. Hartley Sawyer is one actor who might never come back to Hollywood after he got exposed for his incredibly offensive tweets back in 2020. Hartley, who's best known for having played Ralph Dibny, aka the elongated man on the CW's The Flash, faced a heck of a lot of backlash when many of his past tweets were brought to light. These tweets, which span as far back as 2009, highlight Hartley's offensive attempt at humor, many of them including racist, sexist, homophobic, and even violent messages. These tweets were brought to light during the Black Lives Matter movement that saw a big jump in support last summer, and as fans dug deep into many celebrities' lives, this was one of the biggest stories of celebrity exposure to come out during that time. As a result of these offensive tweets, Hartley was fired from his role on The Flash and hasn't been seen on social media since issuing an apology for his actions. Because of the reputation he now has for being offensive, combined with the fact that he's been out of Hollywood for so long, I have a feeling that Hartley won't be back in the spotlight for a long time, so 2022 might not be his year to return.
And at number 6, Drake. Drake and Kanye made huge waves in the rap community when they squashed their beef and came together to perform at the Free Larry Hoover benefit concert. Fans online said it was the concert of the year and were raving about Kanye's set. Some even said that it was his best performance ever. But sadly, Drake did not get that kind of response, and fans were disappointed and even embarrassed by Drake's performance. The big issue was that Kanye made a point to play a lot of his classic hit songs, while Drake practically only played music from his most recent release, Certified Lover Boy. One fan even joked that based on his set, Drake does not want Larry Hoover to be free. Drake has not responded to all the criticism, but I'm sure it's taken a hit to his ego.
At number 5, Chris Pratt. It seems like Chris Pratt is having a hard time in the media lately. Chris has been making headlines recently because people want him to be cancelled. First, back in 2020, people were upset with the actor because he didn't publicly support Joe Biden, and a lot of people also took to criticizing his Christian faith. Now, someone's faith is no reason to hate someone, I will say, that is just absurd, but it still had a lot of people going off at him. On top of that, just recently, Chris faced backlash after he posted about his wife Katherine Schwarzenegger and how she gave him a gorgeous, healthy daughter, end quote. This had people running to his ex Anna Faris to support her because fans believed that Chris's comment was a dig at the fact that their son Jack was born premature and had to spend time in the NICU before being allowed to go home after he was born. People called Chris out for his choice of words, and they're using this as further fuel to use against the actor. I feel like with this tension bubbling up, 2022 might be the year that Chris Pratt actually gets cancelled, and this might have a very big impact on his career.
And at number 4, James Corden. James Corden is the beloved host of The Late Late Show. He's produced viral segments like Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts and Carpool Karaoke. But a lot of people don't know that he started out as an actor, and he wants to do more of it in the future. But unfortunately, the public does not want this for him, and is doing everything possible to keep him away from their favorite musicals. He was a part of the live remake of Cats, which was a disastrous failure. Then after it was announced that Ariana Grande was going to be acting in the big screen version of Wicked, the public was worried that James Corden might try to get involved. So someone started a petition called, quote, "Keep James Corden out of Wicked." The bio for the petition simply stated, "James Corden in no way, shape, or form should be in or near the production of Wicked the movie." That's pretty much it, and almost immediately got over 50,000 signatures. So it's clear that James will not be hired for any more musicals in the future.
At number 3, Katherine Heigl. A lot of people don't like working with Katherine Heigl because of how rude she is. She's been known to be mean to people on set, have high demands, and just have a really bad attitude. She's known to be quite critical of the roles and material she's given, and she even brought this up when she withdrew from the Emmy nominations because she said that the material she was given for Grey's Anatomy didn't warrant an Emmy. That's certainly disrespectful to the writers, because for someone to say something like that implies that the writing wasn't good enough to please people, whereas the people at the Emmys thought it was worth the award. Katherine is also known to make ridiculously high salary demands, and apparently she's been doing this since before she became a big name in the industry. She's reportedly hired and fired a lot of publicists and assistants over the years, so she really sounds like quite the diva. Because of all this, directors and Hollywood execs don't want to work with her anymore because she's a nightmare to work with. People say that she's been blacklisted from Hollywood, so the chances of her booking anything substantial in 2022 are pretty slim.
And at number 2, Steve Burton. General Hospital star Steve Burton confirmed on Instagram that he had been fired from his long-running role on the show over refusal to get the vaccine. After rumors had been swirling, he took to Instagram to clear up any rumors. He said, quote, "Unfortunately, General Hospital has let me go because of the vaccine mandate. I did apply for my medical and religious exemptions, and both of those were denied, which hurts. But this is also about personal freedom to me." Apparently, the whole talk about mandates happened after Burton tested positive for COVID back in August, and production was shut down. After that occurrence, the vaccine mandate was created. General Hospital is currently the only soap drama that has the vax mandate. The other 3 main soaps are using regular testing and social distancing to prevent the spread. And finally, at number 1, Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson has been accused of horrific crimes by multiple of his ex-partners. Actress Evan Rachel Wood posted to her Instagram on February 1st of 2021, exposing that she had been by Manson. In the long statement, she said that he started engaging with her while she was only a teen, and she was, quote, "brainwashed and manipulated into submission." She then claimed that she did not want to live in fear, and she wants to expose him before he does more harm. Concluding, quote, "I stand with the many women who will no longer be silent." Wood, who was 33, met Manson when she was 18 and he was 36 back in 2007. They later got engaged in 2010 for 8 months until the relationship ended. This statement on Instagram came as 4 other women have recently come forward with allegations against Manson. Manson has denied the allegations, but he still has been blacklisted until these legal matters are sorted out. Wood even recently revealed that Manson threatened to hurt her 8-year-old son. The only person who has collaborated with him since the allegations was Kanye West, and nobody else in the music business wants anything to do with him.